This is Gina Moore with More Than Sports. I have a very special guest with me tonight. I have straight from Kalama High School in Washington and Montana Tech, and now Nashville. Tucker Wetmore. Tucker, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Now, we're just going to get right into the questions here because there's a lot of information about you that I want to cover and have you tell your story here.
Yeah.
So you were, from what I understand, a very talented and gifted athlete. You excelled in you, you excelled in football and track. So tell me about when you started playing sports.
So I played baseball kind of all grown up, like t-ball through, I want to say like 4th or 5th grade. And then I moved from Tri-Cities to Kalama.
Mm-hmm.
And all my buddies there were like, it was a big football town. And I've never played. Buddies that I met and got to know pretty well, they're like, you should play football with us. Play football with us. Because we played out like recess and stuff. And they're like, you're pretty good. We could use you. And so I ended up starting football in, I think it was 5th grade was my first year. And then I played it all through middle school. And then in 7th grade, I started doing track because everyone wanted to do track. And so I started put baseball down for a little bit up until my senior year. So like my freshman through junior year, I just did football and track.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think so.
It was a little while ago.
Yeah, long time ago. But so freshman through junior year, I did football and track. And then my senior year, the administration let me do baseball and track at the same time. And
wow.
from my knowledge, I was the first person in Kalama High School history to ever do that kind of thing. Wow. Through the school, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So which obviously you went to college for football, but out of those three, what did you like? What sport did you like the most?
That's a tough question. I don't know. I love them all. I miss them sometimes, but I guess it just depended on what season it was.
Mm-hmm.
It'd come around to football season. I'm like, football. And then football would end, and I'm like, dang, I miss football. So then I'd pick up the pole vault and start doing track. And I'm like, track, my favorite. And then it's baseball come around. Baseball. That's my favorite. So I couldn't, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Football probably. Now I look back at it, it's probably football.
All right. Now, I was sent a very long list of your accomplishments in football and track. Where does that competitiveness come from?
I just love to do it. I mean,
mm-hmm.
my motto is do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I was out there competing all the time. I was just having fun, and
right.
Sure, I was good at what I was doing, obviously, but it was just fun. I love to do it.
Now, tell me a little bit about the recruiting process, because you did end up going to Montana Tech for football as a wide receiver. Why did you choose Montana Tech, and what was that recruiting process like?
So, I'll just tell you first off, my grades were so bad in high school.
Oh no.
They were so bad. But Montana Tech was actually the only college that looked at me for football or offered me. There's other colleges like looking at me and talking to me, but they were the only one for football that gave me an offer. And so I was like, I kind of want to keep playing football for a little longer, see how it goes. And because I wasn't ready yet. So that's why I went towards Montana. There was like a ton of schools. There was like a list of schools looking at me for track, but I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to keep playing football.
Well, and you probably would have maybe some more schools looking at you had your grades been a little better.
Definitely.
Kind of shows how important grades are, but that's amazing that you still got to go and you got to play football. Now, your junior year in high school, you had a pretty significant knee injury. Pretty much tore, from what I read, everything in your knee by the sounds of it. Is that the injury that ultimately made you walk away from football? Because when did you stop playing football for Montana Tech, and why did you stop playing?
So I've blown out my left knee twice, and then I've blown out my right knee once, or leg, I guess. But so I've had 3 pretty big knee injuries, and I played for a whole year in Montana, and then it came around spring ball, and I was doing pretty good. I was getting some starting reps, and they'd come up to me after practice, before practice, be like, "Hey, you're gonna be the guy next 4 years," blah blah blah, kind of thing. And I was like, "Okay, I'm super hyped about this. Like, I can see myself sticking around." And then one day in spring ball, I was running a post over the middle, and then blew out my ankle, leg, everything was just dangling, gone. And so that was the third one. And I was like, 3 strikes kind of out. I kind of want to start taking care of my body a little bit. I want to be able to get off the couch when I'm, 35 years old without having trouble.
Right.
It was probably that third one that was kind of an eye opener for me.
Well, and how did you really recover from that? How hard was that for your mindset? Thinking, all right, I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be starting, and I'm going to be, pivotal role for this team. And then kind of realizing I have to give it up, because of your health. What was that like for you, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, it was tough. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I just my biggest thing was like because when you play sport, it's like a family, So like I still talk to a bunch of my college buddies to this day, and we're still like super close. So I was just afraid of like letting people down, because I wouldn't say they were counting on me, because that's definitely not the case, because they had multiple guys behind me that could do the same stuff I could. But it was just like I didn't want to let them down, and I didn't want to, be on anyone's bad side for doing what's best for me in the end. But I don't know. I was just worried about that. So mentally it was kind of hard, but it's a lot easier than you'd think getting over it, because I found a guitar.
Yep. Well, and like they say, when you go through things like that, it always makes you stronger.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like that's kind of how it made you, stronger to, and really to do what's best for you. I think that's huge, not doing what's best for everybody else. At the end of the day, it's your body that you have to take care of. So, I think that's good. So now you live in Nashville to pursue your dream of being a country music star. Has music always been a passion of yours?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been passionate. I started playing piano when I was 11. So, and then I started playing guitar when I was 13, 12 maybe. But so I've kind of always played music, but it's never been like a dream, I would say, up until like the last year and a half, 2 years. It was never a dream. It's kind of just like a passion of mine, kind of like something I can do to get my mind off a couple things, and just kind of like a coping mechanism for different emotions going on in my life. So I just turned to music. So I was definitely always passionate about it. It's always been like my passion, but not until a year and a half, 2 years ago, it's been a dream of mine.
And why, why the move to Nashville? Like what prompted that? What prompted you to be like, you know what? I really want to do this. This is now a dream of mine to go to Nashville and become a star. What really prompted that? Because you said it's only been a year to a year and a half that it's really been that dream. So
Yeah.
kind of how did that manifest itself?
Um. So I I was working at a coffee shop after I moved back home from Montana. I was working at a coffee shop, which was fun, but it was just the day to day life. Wake up, go to work, make coffee, put on a smile, and it just got like super repetitive. I was like, I don't want this for my life. I don't want to stay in the same place for the rest
Mhm.
of my life. So I don't know. I just picked up a guitar and I was like, this, I've always loved to do this. I've always been decent at it. I mean, there's always
Mhm.
in anything, but so I picked up a guitar and I was like, this is my passion. Like I was meant to do this kind of thing, and that was kind of
Mhm.
eye opener for me. Kind of like
Mhm.
a come to Jesus moment where I was like, this is what I need to be doing. So that made my decision moving to Nashville like super easy.
Yeah, definitely when you find what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah,
it's definitely when those doors start opening and that that's what where you need to go.
yeah.
It does make it easy. How has it been, living in Nashville? You're away from family and things like that. How has it been there for you?
It's different. It's different, but it's fun. I mean, so I come from a town with 2,500 people. I graduated 69 people in my class. That was the biggest class to ever go through my school. Super small, but and then moving to like this big city where there's lights and people and
Mhm.
places, which is weird. And I don't know, it's different, but I love it at the same time. It's definitely where I need to be right now, and I know that because it's
Mhm.
the the people I've met and the doors that have opened since I've been here. I've only been here since I want to say like end of September, beginning of October, something like that. So like
Mhm.
5 months, 4.5, 5 months, something like that. But I'm not very good at math. That's my bad. But yeah, and so just doors it's opened, and it's great. I love it so far.
Yes. Well, now, and you were just recently, and I hear there's more, but you were just recently in an article on cmchatlive.com where they listed you alongside artists like Eric Church and Miranda Lambert. So, what is that like having your hard work and music being acknowledged and recognized?
It's cool. Obviously a year ago I would have never thought where I am right now. So it's cool to be have my name read my name next to like someone like Miranda Lambert, for instance. That's insane. But I'm not satisfied yet because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't done and I
Mhm.
need to do. Just growing and growing and growing, but it's definitely a cool milestone.
Mhm. Yeah. And what do you hope to accomplish? Like, what's your ultimate goal?
Um, make music. That's all I want to do is just make music and write music and have fun doing it because I love doing it. Um, I feel like my main goal is playing arena shows, going on like an arena tour. Like once
Mhm.
I do that, I'll be like, I can settle down a little bit. I've made it. That's all I need to do is just go to a show, get on the bus, go to another show on the bus, record music when I'm back in Nashville or whatever. I mean, but my main goal actually is I want to because music helped me so much in my life.
Mhm.
It's been my coping mechanism for a lot, and so I want my music to help others in the same way, whether it's 1 people, 100 people, 100,000 people. Doesn't matter
Mhm.
as long as it's changing someone for the better.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Um, because that is a part of music. Everybody remembers like the breakup songs and the, songs from their past. A song can come on and people remember like a moment in their life on that song.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that inspires people, something that people remember. Um, who who's been one of the people that you've met in Nashville that just, have you met anybody that you kind of idolized and looked up to and had the chance to meet them when you've been there?
Um, yeah, there's been a couple pretty big people that I met. None of my idols so far,
Hmm.
but yeah, there's I don't know. Nashville's so weird. You run into people, you'll be at the bar or go to like a house party, or not even a house party, just like get a text on Instagram and be like, hey, seen your stuff, you in town, let's hang out kind of thing. So like you're running into people like that all the time when you're
Hmm.
kind of got the foot in the door in the business. So I mean, Blanco Brown, I'm pretty good buddies with Blanco Brown. I don't know if you know who that is,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I've hung out with him a couple times. I think that's like I'd say like the biggest artist that I've had like immediate contact with. But
So now who are your idols? Like who would be the ultimate person that you would get to meet and talk to?
John Party, I'd say,
Mhm.
is up there. Um, Luke Combs, obviously, he's phenomenal, and he's just a great dude too. So same as
Mhm.
Party, but I'd say John Party's might have to take the icing on the cake on that one.
And why? What is it about him?
I just love his music, and I love
Yeah.
his vibe and his charisma, and just like the man he is, because he's
Mhm.
got like he doesn't have any kids or anything, but he's got his wife and his band. The way he treats, I've heard a lot of good stuff about like just who he is as a person,
Mhm.
let alone music aside, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to lose myself or my morals as
Mhm.
the journey progresses. So, yep,
Well, and I
Party
think that's
probably.
huge. I think that's such a big thing is to stay grounded and stay true to who you are.
Exactly.
Um, because you can get lost, you can get caught up in, I just did an interview yesterday with a former football player for Florida, and he said that, people go Hollywood and think they're so much better than everybody else, and really
Yep.
making sure that you're grounded and know where you came from, and I think
Yeah.
that's um, it's good that you have that mindset. I don't have a doubt in my mind that you will continue to be that way, the more success that you have. Um,
I appreciate that.
so talking about that, I do have something that somebody gave me, and it just kind of tells a little bit about your character. And so I wanted to read some of it. So this is from Trisha.
Okay.
Uh,
Trish.
so, so Trisha's best friends with your mom, and she's also one of my bestest friends ever. And so she just gave me some words about you, and so I really wanted to read it because I really want people to understand your character and the type of person that you are and will continue to be. Because I think it does say a lot. I mean, somebody can be the best athlete or the best singer or the best at what they do, but if their attitude and their character isn't the best, you might think twice about really following them and
Exactly.
supporting them.
You ain't gonna get very far.
Yeah, exactly. So here is just some stuff from Trisha. She said that you've always been that kid that lights up a room. Um, and the way that you light up a room is usually by glowing after you've done something for someone else. Uh, you have a way of making people feel like you're the only one in the room, no matter where you are or what's going on. When he's talking to you, it's all about you. He makes you feel special, important, and just good about who you are. one of my favorite things about Tucker is how humble he is. And then talking about the vacation that you all took last year, and you had a friend from Montana with them, and Steven was unable to go. You guys were all talking, and everybody stops, and you say, "Man, I wish Steven was here," and proceeded to tell your friend all about Steven, what a great guy he is. And to hear Tucker tell it, you'd have thought my son would be the next star entering the NBA. So you shine lifting others up. Basically, whatever you put your mind to turns to gold, because you put in the work. Let's see. She said you are extremely talented musically, athletically, but that none of that touches the amazing man on the inside that you are. Great things are in store for you, and no one deserves it more. So now that's somebody that's known you pretty much your whole life. So she knows, I mean, she's up there with your mom, knowing your character and what kind of kid you are. And so I think that's, it's just a testament to who you are as a person that I wanted others to kind of get a glimpse into.
That was so nice for a while. I love that lady. I love you.
She's pretty amazing. So I have a question. Would you be willing to play a song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I got my guitar right here, actually.
Well, perfect.
Perfect. What do you want to hear? Something I haven't released, or I guess I haven't really released anything.
Whatever you want to play. So tell me the name of the song.
First single.
And you actually do you write all of your own music?
So the first one I'm dropping, I did not write.
Okay.
A good man by the name of Daniel Davis wrote that. But most of the time I try to get in my 2 cents on songs that I want to put out.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the songs that my producer showed me when we were kind of flirting with the idea of what songs we want to record during that session.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the songs that he showed me, I was like, these are too good to pass up. And they've been sitting in a music vault for 6 years now.
Wow.
So he goes, you might like a couple of my buddy Daniel's stuff. I was like, well, let's hear it. And so he played me a couple. I picked out 2, which I was like, these are the ones. Like, these need to be heard. We need to record these ASAP. And so my first single or 2 is not going to be stuff I've written.
Mm-hmm.
Start releasing a bunch of stuff that I have, because I've got a ton of stuff written that no one's really ever heard.
So now, are you going to be dropping like on Spotify and things like that, or what? How does that work? What are you in the process of right now? As far as music,
it'll be on all platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it, Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on all that. It's kind of a process, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes that people don't really see. They just see notification on my phone. Oh, Tucker Wetmore just dropped a new album or single, or
right.
And they play it. But like, there's a lot that goes behind recording, listening, content, touring, playing shows. It's just a lot, but it's fun.
So what process are you in right now? So you are obviously recording.
Yeah, I did a session of recording like a month and a half ago. We got finished with it, and then I was kind of waiting around to hear back from a couple people about them, but I just got tired of waiting, so I was like, I'm just gonna release these songs. Bunch of content stuff. We did a music video for the first single that I'm dropping, which is really cool. So I'm really excited. So I'll drop the single on the 26th, and then the music video 2 weeks after that. So,
okay. Do you have a date for the album?
I don't have an album yet. Not recorded. Okay. I have an album to make an album, but there ain't no album recorded yet, if that makes sense.
Yes. All right. So let's hear. And then I have one more question after this. So I want to hear the song. What's it called?
Gosh, I don't even.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
I could do a song me and a couple buddies wrote like a week and a half ago, if I remember it. Let's hope I remember. But yeah, I wrote this with my buddy Colby Williford, and then this duo named Southern Justice. Y'all should go check them out. They're really good. They just dropped an EP. But yeah, I wrote this with them. We were flirting with an idea of like kind of like a breakup song. So we're all sitting there over in our feels, whatnot. We're all sitting on the couch. What are we writing today, boys? So called Lost and Lonely. So lonely being a place like that you go to and then you're just lost and lonely kind of thing. But it's cool. I remember it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Been here before. Never thought it looked like this. No welcome sign, no county line, no y'all come back again. This must be the place, the one that people talk about. It's easy to find, but it's harder to get. And you don't need me, but if you need me, I'll be in the middle of the road, in the heart of broken, where guys like me come passing through after losing hold of girls like you in the dead end of the road. There's no way of knowing if you'll come back one of these days and help me out of this damn place. You don't need me, but if you need me, I'll be lost and lonely. These four walls just keep on closing in, and I can't seem to warm these sheets with the shape I'm living in. In this bar I found the only one in town with just one stool, just one fool. Looks like I'll stick around, and you don't miss me, but if you miss me, I'll be in the middle of alone, in the heart of broken, where guys like me come passing through after losing hold of girls like you in the dead end of the road. No way of knowing if you'll come back one of these days and help me out of this damn place. You don't miss me, but if you miss me, I'll be lost and lonely. And I ain't left town, but this ain't home to me. And if you change your mind, you know where I'll be. I'll be in the middle of alone, in the heart of broken, where guys like me come passing through after losing hold of girls like you in the dead end of the road. No way of knowing if you'll come back one of these days and help me out of this damn place. You don't need me, but if you need me, you don't miss me, but if you miss me, I'll be lost and lonely. I'll be lost and lonely. Yeah.
That needs a clap. That was awesome.
We wrote that. It's kind of still in the works, but Or that about a week and a half ago, so I don't really know it that well. But
That was amazing.
thanks.
And one thing you can tell when you're playing is how passionate about it you are. Like that's what's amazing. You can like feel the feeling behind it. And that's why you're in Nashville. And that's why you're going to succeed. And I have no doubts in my mind that you're going to make it far. And that's not something you can teach as far as that feeling behind it. I mean, this is just in an interview setting. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't on a stage. How much more amazing is it gonna be when you're out there playing for thousands of people? It's a good job. Now, last question. Yeah. Do you have any advice to people that might see their life going one way only to have it go a completely different direction? Like for you, I mean, you're playing football. Now you're in Nashville playing country music. Do you have any advice to people watching, about that?
Oh gosh. By any means. But if it ain't, here's some good advice. I heard this a couple years ago actually, and it kind of just always stuck with me. No matter what you're doing, no matter how bad things are going, if it ain't gonna bother you in 2 years, do not spend 2 minutes worrying about it. Mm-hmm. And that's something that like really stuck with me because there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, I got to do this now. If I don't do this, I won't be able to do this. And then they just get in this routine of chasing something that they're never going to reach because they get this and they're like, okay, now I need this. And then now I need this. And then it's jumping all over. So, or you're working towards something and you don't get that. So now you focus on something else. If it ain't going to bother you in 2 years or change your life drastically in 2 years, do not spend 2 minutes worrying about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's so important now, especially in the day and age that we live in. People focus on too many things that they don't need to be focusing on and stressing about too many things that they don't need to be stressing about. So that's great advice. So do you have anything on like Spotify or any of those right now?
No, man. March 26th, I will.
Okay.
That's my release date for a song called, am I allowed to cuss on here? Is that fine?
Yes, you're fine.
A song called Kiss My Ass. It's kind of a song about Daniel Davis wrote this one. It's kind of a song about like the music industry and how like corrupt it can be sometimes. Because it's great, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of money hungry people and a lot of people that are kind of just trying to get a hand in your pocket a lot of the time. And it's kind of a song that's about kiss my ass, buddy. This is my money. You can't have it. And it's honky tonk. It's boot stomping. It's a cool song.
That's great. Well, I can't wait to hear it. I will definitely be putting that on my playlist on Spotify. March 26th, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are on all platforms. You're on TikTok. You're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. What's your handle on those?
I was just talking about.
Okay. So make sure to check out Tucker. He is going to be a huge success. And I cannot wait to watch it happen. So I thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's been a crazy day for you. So thank you again so much for taking the time out of your schedule to be on my show. And, my show is called More Than Sports. And that's one reason I wanted to have you on, because it's more than sports. Yeah, you are a sports star, but it's, you're going places in Nashville. And so I definitely wanted to highlight that. And let people be aware of who you are and you know, how they can find you. So thank you again. Thank you so much for playing that song. It was amazing. And again, I just really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this is Gina Moore with More Than Sports. Thanks for watching.